Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson,
And I'm Nick Kinzels.
and Mike Gamble is still not with us for this episode. He's still got something going on, so we'll continue with the two of us. Now we'll be going into Kinzel's classroom. Professor, take it away.
Well, settle up, boy. It's time. Class is back in session. Welcome to another Kinzels classroom here on the Stock Car Spectacle. Well, like you said, Ian, Mike can't be with us tonight. Unfortunately, we're gonna miss him. But so with that being said, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Instead of doing our traditional what we've been doing of the grading and the controversial, we're gonna talk a little bit of playoff here. That's what we did last week when we made our predictions of who's not going to make it to the round of 12. We're going to keep the playoffs going here. We're going to play a little segment, a little extra credit, a little extracurricular assignment is what I'll call it. We're going to play some who's hot and who's not playoff edition. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to list two drivers who are hot right now after that going into Richmond after Darlington, two, and then the two we think are not hot going into Richmond that we're a little bit worried about. So, I mean, the guy we got to start with is the number 3 of Austin Dillon. I did not see this one coming, to be honest with you. Austin Dillon, I wrote him off as being out in the playoffs after the first round here, but he stunned us all. He came out swinging right away, and he was close to getting Harvick there at the end. He came away with the second place finish. He got stage points in stage 2 as well. So Austin Dillon, this is everything he could have ever hoped for going into this Darlington race, being the first race of the playoffs.
Yeah, he did a really great job on bringing himself up to the top five and moving up to second place there. You know, with the whole thing that happened with Chase Elliott and Martin Truex. But yeah, coming out of turn four, I really thought he was going to have Harvick there, but Harvick held his ground, held him off. But yeah, definitely Austin Dillon is definitely a hot driver in the playoffs right now, coming off of that P2 finish.
Absolutely. And he's got a good track coming up next week when we go to Bristol. So he's putting himself in a very good position right now to move on into the round of 12. Still got 2 races to go, but definitely a good start for Austin Dillon and Richard Childress Racing. And the next guy I want to talk about is a 24 car, William Byron. He's another guy I wrote out to not make it into the round of 12, but he went out, he got stage points, and he comes away with a top 5 finish. I was kind of skeptical. I didn't think that the momentum from his Daytona win was going to carry into this one because that was a restricted play race. He proved me wrong. William Byron is showing up at the right time right now, and he's definitely looking hot after Darlington. He's got a couple good racetracks coming up too in Richmond and Bristol. So William Byron's putting himself in a good position as well, coming off that fifth place finish.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been writing him off all year, thinking that he's not going to do anything. Finally gets that win in Daytona, and now it looks like that he is just hot off the presses. He is just ready to go, ready to advance the next round of the playoffs.
I
Yeah, he gets eighth, finishes eighth in the first stage, and he finishes fifth in this race. So yeah, definitely good for William Byron.
Well, it's good for him because after this finish, he put himself ninth on the playoff grid. And Austin Dillon, coming off that second place finish, put him eighth on the playoff grid. So currently, right now, both of those guys are advancing to the round of 12. Still got 2 races to go, though. But those two drivers, they did their jobs at Darlington. These two drivers we're going to talk about next did not. And the first guy I got to talk, I hate to say it, I got to throw my own guy under the bus here. Matthew Benedetto on that 21 team. I didn't expect them to run great in this race, but I did not expect them to run as horrible as they were running. There were times where Matthew Benedetto was running 28th on the racetrack. You just can't have that and expect yourself to move on. Expect yourself to put yourself in good position to move on to the next round after this. Yes, this is the first race, but he's already kind of dug himself into a hole. He is 17 points below the cut line right now. Richmond, another track that is not very good for him either. So he's really going to be digging himself a hole if he's got to go into Bristol and go and win. I believe that he can, but he's just got to score points. He scored 0 points in this race, 0 stage points in this race. It's really disappointing to say. The 21 team definitely looked like the worst out of the playoff cars at Darlington.
Oh yeah, no doubt there. I mean, you can't have a 21st place running car, be competitive in these NASCAR playoffs. Yeah, like you said, you didn't get any stage points, and that's what you really need to rely on to advance. So yeah, not looking good for him, but I am not going to write him off for this round because we are going to Bristol, and I really do think that he is going to capture the win there.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the scoring loops for the Darlington race. Matty D only ran 53 laps in the top 15. 53 out of
Ew.
167. You can't have that and expect to move on to the next round of the playoffs. Richmond's going to be tough for him, but then we got Bristol, so I won't write him off either, but he's definitely in trouble early.
Yeah.
And then the other guy who had a not so great race, a really horrible race, was that 12 car Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, first, he lost 10 points for failing inspection, and he lost his crew. Did he lose his crew chief as well?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
He
Todd
lost
wasn't in
Todd
this
Ford,
race.
and he got docked the 10 points. So Andy had to start in the back. So he's already starting this one off bad. Then the contact with Keselowski, that really just ruined his day. Comes away with a 24th place finish. Again, this is a guy that I had advanced into the round of 8, and he could have even snuck himself into the championship 4. I'm not gonna completely panic on Ryan Blaney here yet, but the next track we're going to is Richmond. That is one of Ryan Blaney's worst racetracks. The gambler man Mike would tell you this yourself. In 8 starts at Richmond, Ryan Blaney has an average finish of 25.5. If he has himself another bad race, yes, he's going into Bristol, a very good track for him. But every time we go to Bristol, he seems to wreck there.
Oh
So
yeah, he always gets caught up in something.
he's got his objective. He has got to go score himself some stage points and just have a steady finish at Richmond, and I think he'll be okay. But yeah, Ryan Blaney, he's got to be a guy to worry about right now. And what a shocker that would be if somehow Blaney did not advance out of the first round right now. He sits with the Benedetto tied for 15th, 17 points below the cut line right now. So he's got some work to do, but if there's anybody who can get it done, it's Ryan Blaney in the 12 team for sure. But he's got to be a little bit worried going into Richmond.
Yeah, it really surprises me with how bad he started these playoffs with I didn't, I thought Ryan Blaney, like you said, I thought he was going to go to the round of 8, possibly, be a competitor for the round of 4. But no, so far, I did not think that William Byron and Austin Dillon were going to do way better than Ryan Blaney in the start of the playoffs. So yeah, definitely not a hot driver right now for
Yeah,
YRB.
well, again, this is only the first race, but with how close the point battle is, you cannot afford to have a bad race here. And both Matt Benedetto and Ryan Blaney had horrible first races, and then we're going into a track where these guys don't run so hot at. So for both of these guys to have to go into Bristol circled as we got to go out and get the job done, it's going to create for some good entertainment. But yeah, they cannot afford another bad race. So that's about gonna. Do you have anything else to say? Otherwise, that's about gonna do it for us here.
No, that'll do it for me. It's just, yeah, these are pretty surprising picks that you got here. Austin Dillon, William Byron, hot. And then we got Ryan Blaney and Matt Benedetto, not hot. And I really would have thought those roles would have been reversed for the start of the playoffs.
So I think going forward, I think this is what we're gonna do going forward. I kind of like this who's hot, who's not, especially in this playoff edition. I like talking about the playoff guys because we have our show where we do who's going to advance into the next rounds. But I really do like this for in between the rounds of who's hot, who's not. We're gonna keep tracking that. So next week, following Richmond, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna see who's hot, who's not out of Richmond, and we're gonna see if the Benedetto and Blaney can improve themselves. Otherwise, Bristol's going to be tough for them. So, guys, that's it for me. Nobody has to come see me after class because, well, it would be those two if we were doing a traditional Kinzels class. But I'll give them a pass this week. It was the first race. They still got 2 races to improve. Other than that, class dismissed.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Stock Car Spectacle. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on all podcast platforms. Make sure to follow me, Nick, and Mike on Twitter and Instagram, along with the Stock Car Spectacle account. Make sure to follow our good buddy Patrick Koto with the Koto's Mojo podcast. And make sure to check out all of our shows this week with our Darlington review and our Richmond preview. So for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.